Oh, man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is. Tuesday. Brewsday Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah! Grab a cold one. It's Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
Just cut my fingernail. Can't get this going.
I chewed mine off, but
That was a chore.
see, actually, for once, this one was easy. So naturally, what'll happen is on the next segment.
I think this can's made of stainless steel.
Terribly.
Stainless steel, really hard to open. All right, so what's up?
What is going on? Welcome into another edition of Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store. He's Huck, and I'm Big Nate.
So, as many people now know, my daughter is getting married in a little bit, week or so, and she had a bachelorette party. We'll discuss that in a minute. I wasn't allowed. But anyway, my niece lives in Columbia, South Carolina, and through the work of her father, my brother-in-law, and I, we have transformed this woman into a craft beer aficionado. And she started out with sours. She's all sour, wow. She still likes sours. But she has discovered what everyone likes, which is IPAs. So she brought me a six-pack IPAs, and we're going to drink 4 of them tonight.
That's...
There you go.
I'm in. I mean, I don't need a reason to drink an IPA. For me, I didn't start with sours. I started with IPAs. So I kind of had the flip. But man, I love a good sour.
I always like to tell my favorite story. It's inappropriate, of course, and offensive.
Let's hear it.
Craft beer. So we went to Capitol Ale House after a libertarian meeting where we were fomenting the overthrow of government. But there's only 4 of us, so it wasn't going to happen.
It wasn't as effective as you'd hoped.
It wasn't going to be. It never had. I'm not even going anymore. But anyway,
started my own insurrection.
This is like 18 years ago. And so we go to Capitol Ale House, and one of the guys used to be the chair, is a good friend of mine, and he's very knowledgeable in craft beer. Of course, I think I'm probably ahead of him now because he hadn't been keeping up. But he's like, "Oh, I think you would like this nice Hefeweizen." So we did that, and it was pretty good. And so when the waitress came back, I said, "Well, that was pretty good, but I was looking for something maybe like a Sierra Nevada." She goes, "Oh yeah, we've got some really nice hoppy beers." And so I said, "Well, what?" And she gave me a couple choices, and I said, "Well, that sounds good. I think it's probably Dogfish Head 60 Minute." And I said, "Yeah, that sounds good." And then my friend goes, "I'll have a Hefeweizen." And the other guy goes, "I'll have a Hefeweizen." And Liz goes, "I'll have a Hefeweizen." And I said, "Now, what does that mean to you, miss?" And she goes, "You're the only guy at the table." So that was a long time. The Hefeweizens were more of a feminine drink. But I think that, if you go back to the original ones from Germany, they're a lot different. But
yeah.
But we're talking about what's the one everybody drinks around the Miller one. But anyway, I can't remember the name because I'm old. But that's what everybody drank, Hefeweizen. The ladies always drink Hefeweizen. But now I know some brewing ladies that are making triple, quadruple IPAs because 60% of the market still. Sorry, I know some people don't like them.
I can't do Hefeweizens. That's I think easily my least favorite style, and I don't know why. I've never had one. I've had good ones, but I've never had one that was like, man, I want another Hefeweizen. Yeah.
Have you had the Polliner?
Yeah, and it just
that's a good one.
It's good, but it's just not my thing. I don't know.
I made one of them. I can't remember which.
To me, and I don't know what it is. When I taste them, I taste bananas, and I don't eat bananas.
Right. Okay. But that's actually a problem with the beer. The banana is not correct. There's something wrong in making that beer if you got bananas. Might have been old.
I mean, that's probably the case.
Yeah, the banana is not a good thing.
It's definitely one of those things that, particularly like a person passed away and he had a pretty well-stocked beer fridge, and my mom was helping the lady, get rid of all of her husband's stuff. And one of the things that came with it was just an insane amount of beer. So it could have been old. And
yeah, it probably sat around.
Yeah, but there were a bunch of Hefeweizens in there. There's also a bunch of wine. And there was one bottle. It was white wine. I don't know what you know about wine. I
actually, before I was a beer nerd, I was a wine nerd. So. Plus, I used to work as a beverage manager at Wintergreen Resort. So every year we picked all the wines.
I like wine, but I'm not entirely knowledgeable about it, but one of the bottles we had pulled the cork out and there were like crystals
Not good.
on the cork.
It was stored erect.
Yeah,
It has a time that being erect is bad.
I was in college. I was poor. Still drank it.
I've got
It was a little crunchy.
I got 9 bottles of Vampire red wine we bought for Halloween, and it was so bad. We bought a case, and it was so bad because we used to have a big Halloween party. The adults would all hang out in the back room at the house while I had, of course, being the security cameras at the front door. So whenever somebody show up, I go give them candy, but we'd all get party in the back, It's like, there you go.
You know what you're supposed to do with bad wine?
What?
Turn it to vinegar.
Oh, really?
Truly. Yeah.
I did not know that.
You can't just let it sit out. It will do it naturally, but it'll grow this weird mold. So the trick is to get organic, natural apple cider vinegar.
I got
and
some.
It'll have the mother, as they call it.
I've got
in
some.
There. Yeah. You just throw that in and throw your terrible red wine or white wine in there, and it'll turn to vinegar.
Oh, here's I get what you're saying, but it's like, so you've got some X that you need to get rid of, and you can turn it to Y. But I already got a bunch of Y I don't use already. So I'm not. What am I? I'm not using vinegar.
I make a lot of my own salad dressing, so maybe that's why that's useful to me.
Oh,
I also try not to buy bad.
Yeah,
wine.
you're all making all kind of. Yeah, me too. But there's that. But you're always making, good, hot sauce. I'm still using your hot sauce. I put some on my barbecue. It's really good.
I just finished up the last bottle I had of Huck's blend, so I have to remember what I was doing. I know I was.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I didn't think to write the recipe down, and I was a little.
What I did is
I
made some vinegar paste, and then I threw the hot sauce all over it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, we put it on shredded pork tacos the other week. Oh,
nice.
It was really good.
So anyway, back to the party that brought Katie and the beer. So they have, bachelorette party, and it's like, what's the theme of every bachelorette party?
Penises.
Yeah, really. So now apparently we're gonna have at the wedding, we're gonna have some more bar, but the sticks, one of them is titties, and the other one's the penis one. So
all right,
you can put your marshmallows on there.
Oh,
I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of waiting to see this.
I'm one of those people. Like if I saw a bowl like of gummy shaped penises, probably wouldn't hesitate. Still eat them.
Yeah,
it's not the same thing. Like I don't know that would bother me, but I could see there are definitely some people who would be so uncomfortable and insecure that like, I'm not having a s'more. Damn it.
Well, I would. I buy all these accessories for my Jeep. I'm a fool for a good thing. And that was one of the things. You get little penis things that go on your valve covers. I'm like,
well, and then
why would you do that?
You always see the balls hanging on the back.
Yeah. Well, that's traditional. Yeah,
that's traditional.
That offends a lot of people.
That is not the way my grandparents tell it.
Yeah,
I kind of want to see one like an older gentleman driving a pickup truck, and he's got those truck balls. But they're like dragging the ground.
Yeah, that's
what you need. Like
that's a little close to home, Nate. Just saying.
Only a little, and close to the ground. All right, we really have not talked about the beer at all.
Oh, beer!
Is
there beer here?
we went on a ride there. I've got the River Rat Brewery New England style India Pale Ale. It's called Astronaut Sauce. Really cool label, and a little description here. Bursting. I love the people who write these. Bursting with tropical and citrus hops. This NEIPA, I'm going to call it a NEPA.
NEPA.
I don't know if anyone's coined that, but
yeah, it's out there.
Okay, we're going to call it a NEPA. Has been dubbed the Big Bang of Flavor.
The Big Bang of Flavor.
A lot of promises. Our hazy interstellar beer is so soft your tongue will think it's floating in space. And it pairs well with impromptu moonwalks and freeze-dried ice cream. You ever have freeze-dried ice cream?
Yes.
Would you say you enjoyed it?
It was a long time ago. I don't remember.
Yeah. So
when I was a Boy Scout, we had all that stuff, in your pack. And I think it was better than eating moss off the trees.
Well, I demand to know whoever wrote that, if they have actually tried the beer with freeze-dried ice cream. Because from what I remember, it's kind of like chalky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that'd pair well.
So also, all that space food is just nasty.
Yeah.
But isn't there now dehydrated beer? some of these, the Appalachian Trail store,
Just add water.
Had I don't know how. Anyway, so the reason my niece likes this place is they have the key lime ghost, so she loves that. But heck, they got a winter warmer on tap, cinnamon toast crunch. Yeah, I could probably go to this place.
Cinnamon toast crunch would be good. What do you got?
I got the Columbia Craft famously hop India Pale Ale, 6.2%, which is normal. And they are also they're coming to Charleston, but they're also in Columbia. So both of these are in Columbia, and they got these weird. What do you call that font? Do you think?
Something crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, all their beers have that font, and they're the best logo. They got the best logo because they got the weird font. See, there you go. They got food, fun. They got fun there. So there. I mean, I gotta go now.
You promised me fun. Hell,
if you're gonna have fun, I'm definitely going.
Give me a s'mores bar. Yeah, I forgot to mention the ABV on this New England style India Pale Ale, 5.4%. So a little low.
Yeah,
35 IBUs.
I'm thinking America's in a dead decline because we have declining alcohol in the last couple of shows.
Well, I wonder if because I have noticed there's a lot more when you go to the store to buy your IPAs. A lot of what you're finding, like traditionally in the store, is lower at 5.4, 6.2, which is on the higher end of what I'm seeing, but that's still pretty low. So I'm wondering if there's not a correlation with our beer consumption and hops and everything.
Well, I mean, if you look at the main growth engine in alcoholic beverages, there's two right now, and one of them is seltzers, and the other one is pre-made cocktails. And just do a little, real beer information is the beer people are mad and the liquor people are mad because the mocktail people are sliding into the grocery store, right? So they don't have to take it to the Virginia ABC store.
Nope.
They got somehow, because it's 20%?
Yeah.
So they're sliding it in like wine. And everybody's mad. Everybody's mad, but nobody's doing anything about it.
Also been seeing those the fake moonshine in grocery stores now.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
You can't get the original. You can only get like the apple pie, the cherry.
Right.
There's a pickle one that
we need to do
eye.
comparison with some real moonshine versus that.
We
moonshine.
really do. I lost my contact. So
I'm working on it actually.
Okay.
I'm getting I've traditionally hung out with people like in the 20 to 35 age. Because I live in a college town. Now I moved to an old people town. But in any case, they're getting older and they're not drinking moonshine as much. I mean, after you drink it 10 or 12 times, you're pretty much done. But there's a guy in West Virginia.
Of course.
Next time I head up, I think he can hook me up.
Yeah, because I've got some stories about moonshine that I can tell that are
that'll be good.
Pretty captivating, I think.
So anyway, Columbia is warmer than here. So we got Katie interested in kayaking last year. And she had a kayak she bought, and it was like wasn't a river kayak. And what do we do? Take her out in the new river. Fortunately, Whitney used to live like in the town we put in, Eggleston. So we just pulled off and walked up to somebody's house we knew and said, "Hey, can you give us a kayak?" And they're like, "Yeah, here." So we got her down the river. But then she bought a kayak just like mine. Only mine's completely red. Hers is red and black. But it's exact same kayak. So we have not gone together. We were supposed to go the other weekend, but she thought it was too cold. But I went twice, so it wasn't that cold.
I was talking to you off air, and I'll go ahead and relate this story to you on air. I have never had a successful kayaking trip. I've been involved with 2 kayaking expeditions. We'll call them expeditions. Really, they were disasters. The first one, my dad and I was in college. We were in the Outer Banks over the summer. We were in a kayak. We're like, oh, we'll take it into the sound, and we find this little island, and it looks like someone had been painting there because there's a canvas and an easel and paint supplies. Whatever. We'll get off. We'll explore this little island. Pretend we're explorers. Whatever. My dad gets out of the kayak just fine. I'm still in the kayak, and my dad said he watched it from this little island. I slowly start to tip as I'm going over, and the whole kayak and me sink into the water. He said it was like Titanic. Like he was waiting for me to pull out a violin and start rolling. So we had to pull that kayak out of the bottom of the sound Dad said after all the labor we did to get it out, Dad said we should have just told the company, go get your kayak. It's the bottom of the
No,
sound.
I've done that. Yeah, sometimes you got to.
And then my second one was my brother-in-law took a river kayak out into the ocean, got wiped out by a wave. He probably made it about 30 yards into the ocean. So I had to run and swim. I had to set down my beer, which I think made me the angriest because it ended up getting sand all in it. And I had to swim out there, help him pull the kayak back in. And I was like, have you
dump all the water
before?
out of it?
No. Well, maybe the ocean wasn't the thing to
go
try.
first. Yeah, let's
dragging
go
you
first.
And the
let's
kayak.
go to the ocean. Yeah, I'm with you.
My father-in-law still says I should have just let him learn his lesson and lose the kayak.
Well, when I was a kid, my dad was, he built a sailboat and he found this old kayak, and it was, the kayak shape, and it had like a rectangular cockpit that 2 or 3 kids could easily sit in. It had like boards like this, like 4 boards across, and then it had board around the edge, and then he fiberglassed it. Okay, so it weighed about, I don't know, 15,000 pounds. I mean, you could barely get it to the water, and every about twice a summer, every time you drug up on the beach, the fiberglass right there at the point on either end it would leak water. Ooh. So this thing would fill the water. But we spent hours and hours. We would go get giant cinder blocks and tie a rope to them, and then hold on to the rope and throw the cinder block over and see how deep we could go. We do that all day. I mean, and then we turn upside down, slide off of it, and then when you hit the part where the fiberglass was messed up, it cut you. Yeah, it's wonder we didn't die back in the day. All right. Not a life jacket in sight.
Let's go ahead and rate these beers. He's Huck's Beer Buzz on Untapped. I'm Big Nate. I'm gonna go first.
Right.
The Astronaut Sauce from River Rat Brewery. It's good. It's not great. I haven't tried it with freeze-dried ice cream, so can't really
I don't think you can fairly judge it.
But I'm going to go ahead and judge it as is and just understand there's an asterisk because I don't have any freeze-dried ice cream. 3.75. It's good, not great. I don't know if that's a ringing endorsement. I don't hate it. But
that's kind of my recollection. I've been to River Rat. That the beers is good, but not great. Nothing to write home.
It could be better. Increase those IBUs and that ABV. That's all I'm asking.
So I'm over here with the Columbia Craft Famously Hop India Pale Ale, and this is a typical India Pale Ale. My only, it's got a nice APV for 6.2. That's good. It's got a good look, nice lacing. Just a little bit late hop for my taste. Now this is a personal preference. So if you like Stone beer, you're gonna love this beer. I don't particularly like Stone IPA. I like a lot of Stone beers. I mean, they're barley wines to die for, but their IPA is it's like Rogue. It's an overly late hopped IPA.
Yeah. Or
early hopped. Yeah. It's really bitter. This is bitter. This is not really bitter. This is just bitter. So I'm going to give it a 4. I mean, I think it's okay. And I suspect that someone who loves a bitter beer would probably give it a 4.5, but I'm not that person. So I didn't.
Well, we'll be back with some more South Carolina beers. You're listening to Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store.